My name is Jay. I'm a queer, non-binary and mentally ill Tasmanian, and I work in academia as a PhD candidate and also as a performance artist. So I have anxiety, depression, such as a post-traumatic stress disorder and borderline personality disorder. I came to poetry via storytelling, I guess, because I was writing stories for myself for quite a long time before I started doing spoken word poetry. I only really came to an open mic night just because I wanted to tell a story to an audience and get some feedback, and then I heard other people doing spoken word. I do feel a lot more comfortable in those spaces, but particularly as both parts of the burlesque community and most of the spoken word community have quite strong ties with queerness and transness. So it is, and it feels like a much safer space to talk about who I am. I knew a girl born with her heart in her hands, though of course they couldn't hold it at the time. They were trapped under its beating chambers on her chest. She struggled to release them as the medical profession collapsed around her. They blamed her for the pains she brought behind their eyes as they tried to wedge her into their worldview sideways. A beautiful, healthy baby girl with her heart on the outside. She didn't see doctors very much after she left the hospital the first time. I haven't actually told any healthcare professionals so far that I'm non-binary. I have been accessing healthcare partially because I'm non-binary though. Like I recently, how long ago was it? A couple of months ago, got tubal ligation surgery, which I presented to my healthcare professionals as because I never wanted children, which is very, very true. But I think part of the reason I wanted it was because no matter how good my contraception was, I was still fertile. I don't think that was congruent with my image of myself or my gender identity or any of that. I didn't want to be able to bear children, and it just made me feel very gross. And I think it might have been dysphoria. I'm not sure. Like, I don't really know what dysphoria feels like to anyone else, so I don't know if that's the feeling that it is, but that was quite difficult. And I know if I had brought up that it was to do with gender stuff, it probably would have been even worse, because I already had to prove that I'd gone through every other form of contraception first before I could access that. At school, she was the most popular freak the halls had ever seen. The novelty of playing tetherball with a human heart just has a way of not wearing off with kids. She felt the popularity was worth the stretching and the bruising to her vessels. Her mother disagreed, especially when her heart came home looking like a steak that had been dropped in the dust. One of my particularly prevalent symptoms of borderline personality disorder is constant, pretty much chronic suicidal ideation. Imagine if every time you had any problem that you had even the smallest, stupidest thing, like you missed the bus or something, your brain tells you to kill yourself. And it will tell you you're a coward if you don't. It's pretty much my all day, every day, is every time there's something that's wrong or something that I can't deal with, something that stresses me out. It's just constant, like it's the Swiss Army knife of solutions, really. You never have to have another problem in your life. It does make it very difficult to get by at work because it's difficult to listen to people and that's going on in your head. During supervisory meetings, if my supervisor's giving me a problem to deal with and that's going on in my head, it's very difficult to respond in like a meaningful and, professional way. There's no end to it. And it's important to speak up about that so people know they're not alone and they know that they're not completely broken. I knew a girl born with her heart in her hands. Now, she keeps it in a studded steel case with articulated chain piping for her blood vessels. And boy, is she handy with it.